Hi, thanks for joining me for another Froggy Friday. Today I am making a super cute pair of hugging frogs, and I decided to try my hand at making my own eyes. So I'm starting off using my favorite UV resin, and I will be dyeing this black. I'm using translucent dye because when you're using UV resin, if you make it opaque, it won't cure. For once, my nails actually look good on camera. We'll see how long that lasts. I'm reusing a cup here. That yellow resin is all cured. This is a weekly collaboration organized by 4 different channels. I'll have the playlist to the other videos in this collaboration linked in my description. It will be there every Froggy Friday. Make sure you go watch the other videos. You don't want to miss them. This needs to be stirred really, really well.
Stir, stir, and this is absolutely done.
Okay, that was a little Easter egg for my other friends who are approximately my age from the San Francisco Bay Area. You will recognize Martin Yan from his show Yan Can Cook. That was on PBS for years. My mom loved cooking shows. I watched Martin every Saturday with her. You can use a little bit of alcohol to pop the bubbles, but you don't want to use too much. Alcohol and UV resin do not like each other, and it will inhibit the curing process. If you have a properly functioning double-sided UV lamp, that would be perfect here. Otherwise, just make sure you also cure it from the bottom. These are all cured. I'm ready to pop them out. That's the size I'm going to use for the eye itself. Use some UV resin to tack the pupils in place. That way, you know they won't move around when you put the other UV resin around it. If you can hear anything in the background, I apologize. My windows are open because it's a gorgeous 69 degrees and sunny out here today in Northern California. Also, my dog is right next to me playing with all of his toys. I feel like if after over a year I still can't manage to stay in shot, it's probably never going to happen. And here's my first eye. I really like the way it turned out. I'm going to do one frog with purple eyes and one frog with blue. And here's the frog mold. It's so cute. Unfortunately, in the end, you can't actually see the colored part of the eyes. Oh well, I gave it a shot. And I am aware that frogs do not have round pupils, but this is the cabochon mold I have to work with, so I did what I could. You'll see the UV resin set that Mr. Kitschy got me in the upper right-hand corner. This was available on Temu. These are really small bottles, unfortunately, but I really like the colors. I can't manage to get my crafting in shot, but my head made it in. Now it's time to work on the toes. I'm using really cool glow-in-the-dark stones. I think these are made of resin. And I decided I wanted to use the blue color because that's going to match what I'm doing with the frogs as a whole. Not to worry, this resin is not black. That's the cup I used before, and I went ahead and cured it under the UV lamp before putting clear resin into it. While this mold is super cute, I feel like AI may have made it. If you look at the toes, it looks like there's some missing from the foot on the left. I don't know. I still think it's cute, but it's a little weird. I'm using the blue-green color PearlEx mica powder for the little indentations on the frog mold. I actually had a bit of a hard time seeing all of these indentations. There are some really tiny ones that I actually ended up missing. I don't think you can tell in the end. I think it's okay, but this was a bit of a challenge for my middle-aged eyes. I then decided to take the bright yellow mica powder from the same brand and go around the little blue dots that are the indentations. The frogs themselves are going to be green, and I wanted to sort of break up that big mass of green by putting a little bit of extra color in different parts of the frogs. I liked the look of the yellow in there so much, I decided to put it in the toes as well. This is when it became really noticeable to me that one of the toes is missing from the foot on the left. I can't unsee that now. You can see that I'm only using powder from the lid itself. I don't actually need to go into the pot. These are pretty small pots of mica powder, but they go a long way. And I'm just cleaning up around this area with a fine-tipped cotton bud and some alcohol. Yeah, I got impatient, so I moved on to a water wipe. It's time for our last step. This is the resin I'll be pouring in the mold, and I want to color it a dark green. I'm using the Let's Resin Opaque Pigment set, and I'll be using the green color as well as the black. When you first squeeze out the pigment, it comes out a little bit watery. It almost separates in these little bottles, so I definitely need to use several drops at a time to make sure I get it as opaque as I want it. Me being me, I had to add some sparkle and shimmer. I used the Let's Resin Interference powder in the color green. It's so pretty. I love this stuff. You knew I was going to tell you to stir the crap out of this. Make sure there is no unmixed powder hiding. How pretty is this color? It's perfect for spring. Watch what the mica does. Ooh, so pretty. I think the way it interacts with the resin after you first pour it is just super cool. I probably need to get out more often. I'm using my heat gun to get rid of some bubbles, and we'll let this cure. After a few hours in my curing machine, this is all ready to be demolded. It's not hard cured yet, but it's cured enough that I can take it out of the mold. I was too impatient to see how this turned out. I didn't want to wait. I noticed some bubbles right here, and I'm not too concerned. But actually, after I demold this, I'm looking at this part and I can't figure out if it's actually supposed to be there or not. You'll have to tell me what you think in the comments. How cute are these frogs? I love them. As I said, you can't really see their eyes. Next time I'll need to use maybe regular resin and have it more opaque. Since I had dusted the mold with mica powder, I could not spray it with alcohol before I poured. Unfortunately, there are a few bubbles along that mouth. They're not very noticeable though. I think I'm inspecting that one part here, and I just can't figure out if I over poured or if that should be there. Time to see the toes glow in the dark. That looks so cool. I love it. Froggy kiss. Here they are, all done on the turntable. Check out that sparkle. I love the mix of the blue and the yellow and the green. I wish their eyes looked a little more like frog eyes, but I'll take it. I think it's okay. I think these guys would look really cute on a wall. Kinda reminds me of Mr. Kitschy and myself, giving each other a little froggy hug. I hope you like my froggies, and don't forget to watch the other videos in the playlist. Thanks for hopping by. I'll see you soon.